Hey y'all, this is Daniel from IT. I am making a quick video showing you guys what's in the package. You're gonna get a Surface, and this is the stuff that came in. You got a Surface dock, so you can connect your actual Surface computer. It should already have the type cover attached. This is an extra power for charger for travel. We'll open that in a little bit. And a travel mouse. And this is a video cable to hook up to your big monitor. If you don't have one, we'll send you one. But yeah. So pretty much, we're gonna take a pause here, and then I will actually unwrap everything and then show you how to do it. Okay, so I have unboxed everything and unwrapped. There was a lot of plastic involved. So to start off here with the dock, this is the dock, and these are the ports. This is the two USB. These are two display ports, mini display ports actually. Here's a little 3.5mm stereo jack for audio, speakers, whatever, headphones. Ethernet port, and that's the power port for the charger. And in the front, this is the back. In the front, you got the two USB ports for flash drives or whatever. And this actually plugs into the Surface. And I'll show a little bit more on that. This here is the power, the charger for the dock, okay? This will always be stationed at your desk. There's no real need for you to take this with you unless your building is burning or something and you want to work remotely with a full desktop setup. I suppose you could take it, but for the most part, this will stay at your desk, most of the time. Over here, we got the actual video cable. This is not a normal video cable like what you're used to. This is called DisplayPort, and this kind of breaks it down. So this is the full-size DisplayPort, and this is mini DisplayPort. It's a new format that seems to be trending. This side plugs in behind your monitor. You gotta make sure your monitor has this port. Most of these rectangular widescreen monitors have that, and we'll make sure you have that before we send this. This will plug in back here, okay? This is not HDMI. They look similar, but they're not the same. This is DisplayPort. Okay, here's your travel charger. Very straightforward. I'll explain more on the connecting of the charger later on. This is a USB port, so if you want to charge your phone along with your Surface, you can do that. So that's kind of nice. And then the Arc mouse. Philip wanted me to point out, why is it flat? Everyone's gonna want to know why it's flat. That's because to turn it on, you just kind of bend it, and now it's on. Well, you gotta remove this so that the battery can actually, power on. And to turn it off, you just bend it back. So we're gonna take a pause and start setting everything up. Okay, so in this little segment, we're gonna talk about charging the Surface. So the Surface actually has a charger port right here. It's very small, USB and mini display port. Remember that? Anyhow, when you want to charge, you get the travel charger, you plug it in, and you lift up your Surface like so. This little kickstand, it just opens like that. I don't recommend going higher than 90 degrees. Just leave it right at 90 at the most, but usually you'll just leave it kind of like, I don't know, 30 degrees or so. Anyhow, to charge, the cable is magnetic, and you'll feel it get attracted to the port, and it just goes right in and it lights up when it's charging. It can go this way with the cable going up, or the other way with the cable going down. It goes both ways, work just fine. There's no right or wrong way. If you like upside down, or if you like right side up, doesn't matter. It'll charge. And that's as far as it goes with charging. Okay, so we're gonna set up the dock. So ideally, the surface should probably be on the left-hand side of the display, or at the very least the dock should be, and that's because it's on this side. While the cable is long enough to be on the other side, you might have limitations, so I like to, just to make it easy, I'll put it here like so. But anyhow, let's start hooking everything up. So I got my power, I'm plugging it in, and I am hooking it up here. It's got power now. I am gonna get my video cord, extended, plug it into any one of these, doesn't really matter. And it's just fitting the shapes. The monitor, you can see the display port. It has like a D shape here. That's how you know it's a display port. And you just plug it in, and that's it. With the monitors, you want to make sure that the display port is the default port. And a lot of these monitors, if you press this first thing, auto select should work, but it doesn't always work. So you go down to DP, display port, and use the check mark, and then it'll always look for it there. Next step, mouse and keyboard. You're probably saying, but Daniel, it already came with the mouse. Why don't you use that cool little fancy mouse? Well, the little mouse, the travel mouse, is good for travel. It's not really optimal for office use. So we like to be a little more real and use an actual mouse. Plug it in to the USB port, and we plug in the keyboard. You can cable manage as you like. Plug it in, and there you have it. If you're replacing an existing computer, you probably, I didn't get an Ethernet cable, but anyhow, if you had an existing Ethernet cord, this is where it would plug in. Oh, here you go. So some of you have your Ethernet cord coming from your phones. For the sake of this video, I'm just gonna plug it straight to the jack there. So you plug it in just like that. It's very messy, but you know, you can use a monitor to hide it. Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna plug it into the Surface. So this would be a typical setup like you see here. So again, with the charger, this port transfers power, but it also transfers USB, network, and video. So it has a lot more to it. And you can plug it in the same way. A little light shows up. You can also do it upside down if you wanted to. I don't recommend it. I like it with the cord going up. And it's magnetic, so you just feel it go in. Make sure it's all the way in. I like to give it a little tap. You know, make sure that all the contacts are in there. And then we turn it on. And there is a power button up here, and that's what you use to turn it on. There's a volume up, volume down. Oh, Nick was on this. Anyhow, that's how you do it. These come with Windows 10. Right now the screens are mirrored. I'll show you next how to fix that. So we're gonna take a pause. Okay, so we're logged onto this machine, and I'm gonna show you about the screen settings. As you can see both things on both screens, or the same thing on both screens. So the reason why you see these black bars is this screen is trying to copy the same dimensions and resolution as this one, and you know, this is a little bit wider than this is, so that's why you see the black bars, and it can be kind of annoying. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. So I'm going to show you a couple of things you can do. You can choose to turn this screen off altogether and just make this the main one. That's fine if you don't care much for the little one, but you know, you got two screens, might as well make the most of it. So let me show you what to do. You right click on the desktop and you go down to display settings. Let me do this. And as you can see here, let's expand this. It shows screen 1 and 2. 1 is a Surface, 2 is this Dell monitor. We're gonna scroll down to multiple displays and we're going to extend. I recommend extend, but if you end up not liking it, you can go to show only on 2. And what that'll do is it'll turn off the Surface screen, as you can see here. It asks, do you want to keep these settings? Sure. Keep changes. And it turned off the Surface, but now you show the full picture here on this other screen. So if you like that, you can do that. You're more than welcome. I'll talk about this little pop-up in a little bit. And that's that, right? You got the whole thing to yourself. So now we're gonna change it back to what I personally like. Extend these displays. So under this setting, we can choose which one's gonna be the main screen. Right now, remember, number 1 is the Surface, and number 2 is the monitor. This doesn't really match up because I have the monitor on the right side and the Surface on the left, so I'm just gonna click and move it over, like that. Apply, and now I can move back and forth. Okay, so some people might want this monitor number 2 to be the main one. When you first do this, it might think that the Surface is the main one, and what that does is it creates all your icons over here. Every time you open a new application, it's gonna open it on the little screen, and you don't want that. So what you wanna do is you wanna click on the 2, and then go to make this my main display. And then all the shortcuts will go here. And the Surface screen would just be like a supplemental screen, like it's just the extra screen. And everything that you do will be on the main screen here. So if it doesn't give you that option, it means that it's already checked, so you got nothing to worry about. So let's talk about this little fix my apps that are blurry. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, apply, and it'll bring up another screen. And fix scaling for apps, just hit on, and that's it. And then you can just close it. And then that's it. That's as far as the display settings go. It's configured. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to add the mouse. Like I said before, you turn it on by doing this, and it's in pairing mode. So, because it hasn't been paired before. So what we do now on the screen here is we go click on this little expand like notification area icon tray, and then you see Bluetooth devices, you right click, add a Bluetooth device, and it's gonna bring up a screen, Bluetooth and other devices, add a Bluetooth and or other device, and then you click on Bluetooth and your mouse should show up. You might see someone's cell phone. Don't get any ideas, people. Anyhow, Surface Arc mouse. And it's done. Let's try moving it around. There it is. It's moving. It's paired. That's it. And like I said, this is perfect for when you're on the go. You know, you're working remotely. Don't use it full time. It looks here that there's only one button, but it just depends how you click on one edge or the other. There's a learning curve, but it's good enough. but I don't think it's very ergonomic for using it 8 hours a day. So just putting it out there. All right, and I think that's the most of these videos. There might be more videos, but anything else, I can just remote in and help you out.